Where's this guy going? Oh, he got out?
Yeah, I know.
Bad idea.
Get out right there.
Broke his armor. Dead.
Landing on Tim. He was. Oh, please tell me you got him.
No,
Yeah,
it's
baby.
that DMR.
48 over here. I got sniped from the top of...
Center.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh!
Somebody.
Yeah, they're right below us.
That man with the DMR.
Push.
Guy dropping on us.
Woo, baby, do we have a video for you today, guys. We're going to be discussing the DMR14 and the dual Akimbo Diamatti build in Warzone. Now, this loadout consists of the DMR14 with some attachments that makes it super effective at medium to long ranges, and maybe even at close range if you can get your ADS time low enough on it with some different variations, and we'll show you that. But this, guys, this build is what I consider to be the best build in Warzone right now at the moment, period, bar none, and it might even be the best loadout that I've ever used in Warzone since the launch of the game, and that is saying a lot coming from the Growls, the Kilos, and all of the other metas we've had. This is the most fun I've had in Warzone yet, which in my opinion is the best part. These guns from Cold War have really rejuvenated the game for me and brought back a lot of life into the game that I feel it was missing. I was very bored at the end of the Modern Warfare life cycle, and I'm glad that this has kind of brought some life back into the game. Now, the format of this video today, I'm going to go ahead and show you all the attachments I'm using on the DMR14 and the dual Akimbo Diamattis. This loadout's super good for people that are picking their class right off the bat with Ghost. So the dual Diamattis are considered a regular secondary, and they're just as powerful as any other gun in Overkill right now. So there's no need to equip Overkill at all. You just need to run the dual Diamattis and the DMR14. You can get Ghost right off the rip. So this is really, really effective in the lower player game modes. So when you're not on a team, things like solos or duos. So you can get your Ghost right off the bat, stay off the radar, and start ripping right away. So based on just base stats alone, the DMR14 has basically the same time to kill as the MP5 with chest shots close up. So with the rapid fire barrels and some of the barrels that allow your fire rate to go up, if you have a quick enough trigger finger, the DMR14 will have a faster time to kill than many or all of the SMGs in the game, which to me is just insane as far as the time to kill. The DMRs are just insanely overpowered right now. So one of the biggest advantages to using the Cold War DMRs over the marksman rifles from the Modern Warfare title is that the DMRs use assault rifle ammo. So using the assault rifle ammo, you're going to have a ton more shots you can take, and you can spam so much more of those shots and get those shots on target and not have to worry about it. A lot of the magazine sizes also on the Cold War DMRs are so much bigger. They go up to 40 rounds at the highest on the DMR14. So you can get a ton of shots downrange. You can really spam that trigger and get a lot of shots on target super quick. So let's get into the DMR14 and all the attachments I recommend to make this thing a monster. So first up, I recommend the Agency Silencer, which helps out with sound suppression, obviously keeping you off the map, off the radar, and increasing that damage range just by a little bit. They recently made a change to the Cold War weapons to allow the Agency Silencer to act more like a monolithic suppressor, which really, really helps out. Before, it didn't really do much. Now, if you're using this gun at a lower level and you don't have this unlocked yet, the muzzle brake is what I recommend to keep that vertical recoil down until you unlock the Agency Silencer. Next up is the barrel attachment, which is, in my opinion, one of the most important things for this weapon besides the magazine size. That's going to be, in my opinion, the best barrel to put on this guy, the 16.3-inch titanium. And this is going to increase your fire rate. Now, I'm not sure if some of these are bugged or what's going on with the barrels here, but the 20.8-inch Task Force barrel doesn't really give you much of an advantage. You're still going to drop people in the same amount of shots, whether you have the titanium on or whether you have the Task Force barrel on. The damage values don't change. You're going to knock people in the same amount of shots regardless. So what you want to focus on is getting more shots on target faster. That's why I recommend going for a barrel that has fire rate on it. And now you see in the cons where it says there's an effective damage range nerf on the gun. From what we're seeing and testing and from what I've seen on other videos, this doesn't actually exist. So the effective damage range actually doesn't get lowered by much or at all. So go with something like this that increases fire rate, allows you to put more shots on target faster to knock your enemies quicker. This titanium barrel is the de facto barrel for this gun, and I think it is the most important attachment, like I said, besides ammunition. Next up, we have the Optic, which is the Axial Arms 3X sight. So it'll allow you to get a clear picture of those mid to long range engagements. And the ADS time is actually really not too bad on this weapon. I prefer, personally, if you go and customize the reticle, I like the default reticle the most. It is a very, very clear sight picture. You can see all around it. The next one I would recommend besides that is the Precision, which almost looks like the VLK sight from the Modern Warfare series of weapons. So the Axial 3X is what I suggest you folks to go with on this gun. Next attachment on this God gun is the Field Agent Foregrip under the underbarrel section. This gives you a boost to vertical recoil control and horizontal recoil control, keeping your shots very, very steady even after you're firing with sustained fire. So this allows you to shoot and shoot and shoot and not have any recoil. It makes this gun barely bounce at all, and it's pretty crazy to see how smooth this gun is in action. And the fifth and final attachment to turn this DMR14 build into a God tier build is ammunition. And the ammunition attachment that I recommend is the Salvo 40 round fast mag. So the Salvo 40 round fast mag is going to give you 40 rounds, which can absolutely rip apart an entire trio or quad without needing to reload. But if you do need to reload in a pinch, this thing reloads super quick and has a pretty minimal and really not noticeable difference on the aim down sight time. So I recommend this because you're really not going to be pulling this thing up to have heated engagements at close range due to the type of secondaries we're going to be running. But let's say if you were planning on only playing in solos or duos, you could forego this attachment and put something else on instead. Another version of this build, more tailored for solos and duos play, would remove the Salvo 40 round mag, take you back down to the regular 20 mag, and we would put on then the Serpent Wrap to help out with ADS time. So since you don't need so many rounds to fire off when you're playing in solos or duos, the extra aim down sight speed time could really help you out with those close range engagements. So you can run this with either a larger amount of ammunition if you need to fire more, or if you're confident with hitting your shots or you're hitting less enemies overall, you can switch to that Serpent Wrap and build it that way instead. They're both very, very viable builds, but I personally recommend the Salvo 40 round fast mag instead. This gun will absolutely melt pretty much anything within 100 meters, and I've been hitting shots anywhere from 150 to 250 out, no problem. But basically anything within 50 to 100 meters away will get absolutely decimated by you if you're running the DMR14. So guys, the reason the DMR14 feels so damn good in Warzone is because bullet velocity is very heavily tied to range in Warzone. So it's known that bullet velocity basically is range in Warzone. So the faster that bullet travels, the easier it is to get your shots in on target where they need to be. So let's say, for instance, the Kilo, when you shoot that and you're firing and it's beaming people from across the map, that gun has a very high bullet velocity. So those bullets are traveling very fast to get to the target. That's why that feels like a laser beam. Same with like the SPR. That gun feels like it was hit scan because the bullet velocity is so high, it flies so quick. The DMR14 also has a very high bullet velocity, and that's why it feels so good. It feels like a laser beam. Now the DMR14 is really not meant to fire off the hip, but if people do get close to you, you can spam the trigger, and if you get good enough at firing off the hip, you can down somebody very quick. The TTK on this gun is insane regardless, and you can usually spam off quite a few bullets off the hip, but I do not recommend running this as something you're going to be running and gunning off the hip with. This is strictly a mid to long range DMR that will melt people from distance, not anything close range. Now, as far as the secondary we're running in this loadout, the Diamattis, these guys were a stunner that kind of came from out of nowhere for me. It reminds me of the pre-nerf Renetti Akimbos when those first came out, when everybody was running those with their little lasers and ripping people apart. Right around the same time, like the snake shots were a big thing with the Akimbos. Like, I thought we were done with the Akimbos, and from out of nowhere, we got the Diamattis coming in hot. I feel like John Wick when I got these things on, man. I'm telling you. If we look here, there's a couple of different attachments that make these things absolute monsters. I recommend for the muzzle attachment, the agency suppressor, the 7.2-inch task force barrel, which gives you damage, effective damage range, and extra bullet velocity. And like I said, bullet velocity is very much so tied to range and hitting people at range. The SWAT 5 milliwatt laser sight to keep your shots a little closer on target and grouped up from off the hip, because you're going to be firing these bad boys off the hip because you're using the dual wield on the stock attachment, which essentially turns these guys into a Kimbo. You're going to be holding two pistols, bang, bang, like John Wick, going through, running houses, making all the rats run and scurry when you fly through the window. The biggest key to this class, though, is ammunition. We're going to put the Salvo 30-round fast mag on here, which the only con is aim down sight. You don't need aim down sight when you're using a Kimbo, baby. So you're going to have a huge magazine capacity at 30 rounds, and your reload super fast. These things are insane. These have what I believe of what I've been learning to know, finding out, coming to know, however you say it. These guys are having the best TTK in the game right now, actually, at any distance from like 5 to 10 meters away. If you're right in somebody's face with these, they will melt faster than the MAC-10. They will melt faster than the MP5. They will melt faster than most all of the shotguns. If somebody can get like a 1 or 2 tap off with a Hauer or an R9 like right in your face, it may be a bit quicker. But these Diamattis right now, the way they are so good. They are busted. They will nuke anyone up close, no problem. So give these guys a try as a secondary. And the crazy part is they are classified as a pistol. So it's not going to take up another slot, which allows us to run EOD, Ghost, and Amped. Running this loadout with these perks allows you to get Ghost right off the bat and not have to worry about getting an overkill class or being on the radar for any extended amount of time. As it stands right now, the DMR14 and the dual Diamattis is the best non-overkill class in the game, hands down, and I think that's with a pretty large margin, or by a pretty large margin. If you guys know of any other classes that you think can beat it out that are non-overkill classes, put it in the comments and let me know. I'd love to try it out. So at a base level, the DMR14, it only takes 5 shots to the body to kill and 2 shots to the head on a fully plated enemy. And with how fast you can pull that trigger, man, people just start melting. If you found this video helpful or entertaining in any way, definitely leave it a like, comment on there with what your favorite way is to run the DMR14 if you're running it, or if there's any other meta weapons right now I should be covering or anything else that you like, let me know in the comments. Please subscribe to the channel. It really, really helps us out with getting this content pushed out to you guys quickly, and definitely hit that bell icon as well so you know when we come out again with some of these new build videos, because I love doing these for you. I love getting excited about Warzone and Call of Duty all over again every single time these new guns come out. It seems like the meta is like a roller coaster, right? We've got really good stuff, it dips back down, and a new one rises back up to the top. So come along with me on this journey on that meta roller coaster in Warzone. If you want to hang out with the community and check out all of the gameplay that I'm recording for my future YouTube videos, you can check me out on Twitch 4 days a week where I'm streaming there and capturing content. I'm going to go ahead and leave you guys with some DMR and Diamatti footage to show you guys the meta beasts that these guys are. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next time in the Warzone.
Down one. That team across to just save their lives.
Team across just got pounded.
I gotta reload. This guy's just out in the open.
Melted.
Nope.
Another one on the roof over there.
Got one. One left on that team.
That guy's heading to train.
He's gonna have a rude awakening is what he's gonna have.
Oh, I was gonna say.
I need I'm gonna grab his.
There you go. Another one.
It's a separate team.
The river if needed, though. I see you. He's clipping. See him? Right here.
Yeah. They are. They got a barricade up right below you. I just stunned them.
Dead. Done. Game over.
Easy money.
Bye. Have a good day.
GG's.
Baby. Oh, bully torque ball.